Okay, so today we are going to be talking about prompting for code generation. This is actually a beginner's guide because many of us don't actually know how to prompt as coders or as vibe coders. So I'm going to be taking this from the perspective that you guys are beginners. So just try to follow up the class and listen carefully. I want to do this in like 30 minutes so I don't bore everyone. I want it to be as interesting as possible. So let's start. So first of all, let's define what code generation is. So code generation means asking the AI to write a code for you or asking the AI to generate a code for you using natural language. Natural language, you mean English, your pidgin, or if your AI understands your local dialect. Understand? It's just you asking the AI to generate a code for a specific project for you using your normal spoken language. Now, how does it work? You type a prompt. We all know what prompt is by now. That's the clear instructions you give to your AI. You type a prompt and the AI responds with working code. Now, your prompt is requesting that the AI generate a particular code for a particular program to perform a particular task. You understand? And now the AI response or the AI replies with uh, the code for that program you asked it to generate the code for. Now, why does it matter? Because you don't need to memorize codes, syntax, or be a coding expert. You don't need any of that. You just need to know how to ask. And you need to know what you want. You know what you want, what your aim is, what do you want to develop, what do you want to build, and you know what to ask. That's just it. So moving on. So why do we use AI for coding? We use AI for coding because number one, it saves time and effort. You might be given a project that normally might take you 3 months to execute, but using AI to code, it will actually take you plus coding, plus iteration, reviewing, might take you 3 days or or less, depend on how you know how to use your AI and depend on the amount of time you have at hand. It also helps beginners learn faster because the more you vibe code, the more you use your AI for coding, the more you become familiar with coding language or the particular coding language or programming language you're actually programming in. There's no how you can do it for a period of 1 year and you won't start getting to know commands, functions, and the rest. Also, it fixes bugs and explains errors. You use your AI. When using your AI, there is an automated or automatic bug fixing that goes on. You don't need to be troubleshooting, looking for where the error is, the way normal programmers do. To continue troubleshooting and looking for errors. You just ask the AI, take the error message and put it in your AI, and it will explain the error for you. Also, it builds real apps, bots, websites, and more. We have not still been exposed to the real power of our AI, and that's just because we are still in the surface level phase of this AI prompting. By the time you start getting deep, 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 you discover you can actually use the AI to build applications for your own self that will run on your own PC. It is just a limitless world with the AI. And also, it makes coding feel like you're chatting, not struggling. Doesn't make the coding look like you are sweating yourself to know what function to use here, what syntax to use, what command to use. No, it just feels like you're talking to somebody that actually is doing the job for you. So you are not struggling with anything. So what makes a good coding prompt? Number one, we have task. And no, we have task number one. And what do we mean by task is what you want the code to do. The what you want the code to achieve. What you want the the logic of the code to be like. your end or your output, what do you want your output to be like? So you should, example given there is like create a login form. Now the task here is to create a login form. You should always have a task because that's why I always say always have an idea of what you want to do and a target. Then after you have, when you identify your task or the idea of what you want to do, you have the idea of what you want to do. You should then choose the programming language you want to code in, or you want the AI to code in. You understand? You should be specific with the programming language you want the AI to code in, so you don't get everything mixed up. You don't start coding on C and later tell your AI to use a Python function. No. So you should set the language from the onset. Then details, you should be specific about the rules, the features, the characteristics, the logic behind your your code, what you the code you want the AI to output for you. Then the format. How should the output look like? Do you want it to output code only, or you want it to output code plus comments also? So you should take this four uh, characteristics when you are trying to code or use your prompt to code. It is quite simple to code with prompts, very, very simple. All you need is just know what you're doing and know how to ask the right questions, which also means know how to prompt. You see, that's why we always emphasize prompting is everything when you're using your AI. It's everything your relationship with your AI depends on. So moving on, weak point versus struct prompt. So this is a weak prompt. This I'm just trying to give you examples so you have an idea of how exactly you should be prompting. A weak prompt is telling your AI something like write a code to sort numbers. Now, of course, the AI will give you a code to sort numbers, but just be aware it is going to be the basics of the basics that the AI can find. That's what it will give to you because what you just said is has no, there's no quantifiable detail in this prompt you just gave it. Instead, a strong prompt looks like this. Write a Python function that takes a list of numbers and return them sorted in ascending order. Include comments, and you can also add uh, other characteristics, other features you want it to do. Maybe sort the numbers, also sort them according to area code or something like that. This is more detailed. Another example of a weak prompt is make me a website or make a simple website, create a simple website. That is very weak. Now, look at this example of the strong prompt properly. Create a simple HTML page with a header, paragraph, and contact form. Use clean formatting. Now, this is a very good, strong initial prompt. But don't forget, when you're prompting or when you are conversing with your AI, uh, you don't build solid programs or solid website or solid. In fact, in general, you can't build a solid structural or functional code with just one prompt. I've said it a lot of times. You should just have a foundation prompt, which should be your initial prompt. Then after your initial prompt, you should follow up using prompt chaining in order to get the AI to put in other features in whatever it is you're trying to create. The more specific you are, the better your code, definitely. Now, beginner-friendly prompt templates. Now, Python function, using Python function now. You can say write a Python function that calculates the area of a circle, include comments. Now, what you mean by comment, I know many of you might be confused with comment. Comment is code. That as the AI is giving you the code, inside the code, it should actually explain the lines that what this line is for. Example, you're asking to write a Python function that calculates area of a circle. Now, above the place where the calculation for the area of the circle is going to take place, you should tell the AI will write something like logic for calculating area of circle. So it is telling that this section of the code is commenting that this section of the code is where the logic for the area of the circle will be included. Then this section of the code is to tell you user interface. This section of the code is for user interface, like that. So this is a good prompt. Write a Python function that calculates area of a circle. Include comments. For HTML pages, you can say Create a basic HTML page with a title, heading, and two paragraphs. Now, this is just a beginner prompt for HTML. This is because we are talking about HTML, and this is because we are also talking about coding, AI coding. That's why I'm telling you about Python function. Python is a language, a coding language. Same way HTML is also a language, but it's web-based language. Then Math Helper is also a Python language. You can use C++, C for this one also. I'm just telling you what languages we have in coding and the way you can use your prompt as a beginner with these languages. So write a Python script that asks for two numbers and prints their sum. So you can say write a Python script that asks for two numbers and prints the addition of those two numbers. This is good for beginners. Now, if you want to start coding with your AI, you can just tell it this last prompt as a beginner. Then when it gives you an output and you take the output and you put it in your code editor and you run it and you do the addition, you see it works. You can add subtraction to it. You can add multiplication to it. Before you know, you've created your first calculator. It's that simple. So moving on, how to read AI generated code. Comments. Now, in Python, a comment usually starts with hash. If you start anything, any line in Python programming or Python coding on any code editor or coding platform, if you start the line with hash, you've started a comment, not a code. You've just started a comment. There you can type your guidelines on what this code that is going to follow up under would be doing. So hash is a comment. So anytime you see hash in your code, just know that the AI is explaining what the logic or the code below does. So when you look for lines that start with hash, they explain what the code does exactly. Functions. These are blocks that start with def. So that's why I said when you guys start actually using your AI to code, over the time you start noticing hash, def, and show output, print. But let me explain it. So function is like the logic actually behind your program, behind your Python code or behind your Python program. There can be as many as hundreds of logic in a particular program. So they will always start with def, def. So function blocks that start with def, reusable piece of logic, variables. Variables are names that store data. Example, you can say name equal John. Age equal, you put a question mark there. The user enters the age. You can say this is good for when you're uh, coding a program that accepts variables or information or variable information. Then print statement. What print statement does is they show output. Once you put print into brackets, uh, what they call semicolon. No, this semi, no, this, what do you call this thing again? Somebody. It's not colon, it's, I've forgotten. But when you do, so,
Hyphen. Hyphen.
no, the hyphen is the dash. Uh, I
Which
forgot what
one?
this one, this two between the hello.
Asterisk.
Is it asterisk? No, this
No, no,
one.
no, no, no.
Wait, let me take the pen and yeah, this one.
Is to highlight, like
I
to
forgotten. I forgot what they call it again in
highlight.
I think
English.
in quotes.
Ah,
I think
It's for quotes. It's for quotes.
yeah, it's for
Yeah,
Open
quoting.
and
quotes.
close.
I think it's quotation. They call it
that
quotation. No,
that
Yes.
no.
It's for quotes. Open and close.
Yeah. Let's say it's for quote. Let's leave it. Let it-
Yeah, it's to quote someone word
Yeah.
for word.
But actually, in coding, it's to show that this is the output to display. Anything that enters here and here, anything in this middle like this, shows that this is the output to display in coding. You understand? So it will always output this particular thing in between those. that quotation mark, let's say it like that. So yeah, you see that here the variable is John. The variable, sorry, the variable is the variable function is name, while the variable it will output is John because the John is the one inside this place. So it will always output this anywhere. It does the same thing when you're creating websites also. You also notice this. Many coding languages actually use this kind of structure. So let's move on. So you say ask the AI to explain the code line by line if you are confused. Yes, this is a very good tip. I've always said this. Anytime you are actually confused or you encounter issues when you are asking your AI to code, always learn to take the error message and put it back in the code and ask the AI to explain. Also, it is good in the sense that sometimes you may see a function and you might just be wondering, what does this function do? It looks like this is the function that accepts data into my database. You can just copy the function, or you can just tell the AI from explain line 56 to line 140. The AI itself will read from line 56 to 140 and explain what that particular function does. This way, you can actually have idea of what you are building, how the thing is going to work. Example, you are building a website now and you want the website to be is like a form where you guys can always submit your assignments. You can tell the AI that, okay, what does this line that says name of student, date of submission, what does it do? Then the AI will just go through that code, the line of code, and explain that, oh, this is where you input this is what controls the submission of assignment or collection of data for submission of assignment. You understand? So any part of the code you look at, maybe it looks interesting to you, you just want to know what it does. Maybe for iteration purposes, you can copy it, put it in the AI, or you can quote the line. You can say from line, whatever to line, whatever, kindly explain what this code does. And the AI is going to do just that. So moving on. I don't know if this, okay, I think I have to close the chalkboard. Oh, let's clean it.
Sir, please,
Yeah, I'm listening.
sir, please, okay. Sir, please, yeah, you can send us this slide later, please.
Yeah, I just missed only the last class, the slide for the last class. I'm going to send everything to lecture dumps. It's always in lecture dumps. So you get this one. You get the one for the last class and this one together today after this class. Get it? So common mistakes and fixes. Now, one mistake is people make is your prompt is too vague. It doesn't carry substance. Your prompt is not properly explaining the tasks you want the AI to execute. Instead, it's just packed with loads of gibberish. Can you create a clothes selling website that my users can come in the morning and when they want to buy the clothes, they can click this, and these are just vague information, not specific. Even if you are talking to a professional website builder, you can't tell him stuff like that. So most times you should learn to uh, be detailed with our AI when you want to achieve something. And don't forget, it's not just one prompt. So take your time with details. Yeah, and don't be in a hurry to get because they said AI can build something very fast. Don't be in a hurry to quickly finish. Because if you do that, you skip many, many processes like iteration and the likes, and you won't discover errors. Like I said, the AI is not overtly smart. It is only as smart as you can make it work or you can make it function. Number two, wrong language. I spoke about this before. You started the your prompts with asking your AI to code in Python. And then along the way, you're asking it to include a C++ function. You know it won't work. If you're using Python, then you know the languages that function alongside Python are CSS and JS, JSON scripts and the likes. So you cannot ask the AI to do something outside the language you've already told it to function in. So always specify your language. If you're going to use C, use C. If you use C++, use C++. If you use Python, use Python. I will suggest that for everyone's level, the best and most useful language you can actually get used to right now is Python, because Python is it's like English language of programming or coding. In coding, the coding world, Python is our English language. Everybody speaks Python. So it's a very versatile language you should actually start coding with. Don't worry about C and the rest of them. Output too long or messy. Yeah, this happens with your AI too. Sometimes when you overchain your prompt or when you are very vague in your prompt, you get messed up code. So in this case, you should be able to tell the AI, you should be able to also identify that this code is actually messed up. You understand? That's the purpose of you continuously iterating. You understand? Checking for if the code is actually working, if there's an error and the rest. So now if you notice the code is messy, you can ask the AI to always clean the code. Give me a clean code. You can tell it clean, make the code from line so to line so. Remove comments, remove unnecessary logic, stick to this particular logic in this line, and it will do that. If the code doesn't run properly, ask, fix this code and explain the error you noticed or you identified. I use this one a lot, especially when I'm overstretched or I'm stressed out I've been programming for long and I don't want to just keep or keep writing too many prompts and I'm seeing error message. I just mark I take the error message, paste it into the AI and said, this is my output from the terminal, fix this code, make it work. And that's just it. The AI will do the correction. And I put the correction, I check again. If it works, good. If it doesn't work, I'll state the error, I give the AI again, rinse and repeat like that. So moving on, because I want us to actually discuss about Rise and Cast, what you guys did in your assignment. So real world use case. So what do you use code prompting for? You use it to create websites and landing pages, automate tasks, file renaming, data cleaning, generate quizzes, calculators, mini games, learn coding by example, not by theory. This is actually a very um, big use case. Learn coding by example and not theory. You don't need to go through all those classes, come to coding class or go and register for coding school or programming school. You learn by example. The AI is guiding you. You also are guiding the AI because this is what you want. You want to create an application for this and that. You are guiding the AI. The AI is teaching you in return. So moving on, final thoughts. Like I said, you don't need to be a coder to actually create programs in 2025. You don't need to be a programmer to program applications or softwares. You don't need all that. All you need to do or all you need to be is a clear communicator, a good AI prompter. Let's not even say AI prompt engineering, but just be a good prompter. Make sure you are good with your prompt. You are very good. That's all you need to do. Clear communication only. So this is why I always say it's just so easy for us nowadays. We don't need to go through all the stress of learning too much. All you need to just learn is how to talk, how to communicate, how to ask. And this is why it might look easy at first when someone tells you about prompting. You say, oh, no be to follow AI talk. I can do this now. Anybody can talk to AI. Of course, anybody can talk to AI. But not everybody can use AI to the fullest to generate a substantiable result. You understand? Not everybody can do what you guys in this class can do now. If you tell some people now, oh yeah, take, maybe you can talk to AI, build me a website. I can boast and brag that many of you in this class will actually outdo other people outside when it comes to using AI to do anything because you guys have at least a basic knowledge of prompting. Also, AI is your coding partner. You just need to bring the idea. It will bring the syntax. It will bring the language, the writing up of the code and everything. The formation of the logic behind the idea you have given it, or the formation of the the codes behind the idea or logic you gave it. Just leave that one for it. All you just need is bring an idea, properly communicate your idea to your AI, and watch your AI do the magic. Remember, the better your prompt, the smarter your code. Your code is only as good as you can prompt. Your website can only be as beautiful, as functional as you can prompt. There is no two ways about it. The better your prompts, the better your website. The better your prompts, the better your video editing. Better your prompts, better your program or software, anything you want to do. Vibe coding means coding with vibes. Don't always forget. That's just the most important thing or the beauty of vibe coding. It is stressless coding. It's not coding that will stress you. It is coding that should come easily, naturally, because you are communicating with your natural language. It shouldn't be stressful. So if you are facing stress while vibe coding, then you need to go back and strengthen your knowledge about prompts. So with that, we move on to the practice for today. So now this is how we are going to start. We are not going to start the conventional way it is written here. So because many of you don't even know where to run Python languages and the likes. So first of all, in this practice, you are first going to be asking your AI or be prompting your AI, telling it you want to run a Python program, a simple Python program. What applications or what platforms can you run this Python program on that will be available to you right now? That should be your first prompt. I guess you guys are following me, right? Are you guys following?
Yes, we are following. Yes.
Okay, so this is the practical section. I want you guys to prompt your AI with what I've just said. Someone in chat. Okay, Big Seven. Everybody's in chat. Nice. So prompt your AI now. Ask your AI what platform you should be running your Python programs on that is accessible to you. Remember, be detailed with your prompt. Add your operating system, your device, so it can take that into consideration also. So let's go. Let's see. You can put your results in the chat. So when you do that, start asking. You can now start with the simple tasks. When you get the platform, you can now start with the simple tasks and ask your AI to write a code that will print out hello world for you. But first, you need to understand you want to write a Python code. Where or on what platform should you be doing that? What and what do you need? What programs do you need to have on your phone to successfully write a Python code? After that, you start simple tasks. You download the software that the AI asked you to download. Remember to tell the AI you want free one, so it's not gonna give you one software that they are paying how many $100 for. So when you get the software, you tell the AI to write you a program that prints or outputs hello world. Next, you tell the AI you add layers to it by asking the AI to add user input. That means add a field where users can input something like their name. Then ask the AI to explain how the field works. Now, in this add layer, the first one, ask the AI to add the logic for users to input their name and submit. And when they press submit, the AI should display the name instantly, the name that was submitted. Now, when the AI gives you the code for that logic, tell the AI to explain the code step by step. Then experiment it. Use the program or use the program you just created for your phone. Use it on your phone and make sure it is working. Then next, use role-based prompting. Act as a Python tutor and explain the full code, the full structure of the code from beginning to end. The AI should explain to you as a Python tutor, and it should explain to you like someone that does not know anything about coding before. So the AI should be a Python tutor and teach you. Do you guys understand?
Yes.
First, ask your AI. That first one is not written here, but that's because obviously we thought this is just a general guideline. But first, ask your AI what platform would be good for you to start writing Python codes on as an iOS user, as an Android user, as a Windows 10 user, as a Mac OS MacBook user, as just put your device, your operating system so the AI can take that into consideration when giving you results. And also free, remember to include free. What free platform? When you're done with that, start with the simple task. So should we take this to the group or should we do it right here on Zoom? If we are to do it right here on Zoom, I can spare 15 minutes, so everybody should get it to work. But if you know you're going to need time to get the program together and the rest, we can take it to the WhatsApp community. Assignment, remember, anything assignment should be in assignment dumps, not on the major group. So which one are we doing? Should we hold a poll or what? Are we staying here or are we going on WhatsApp?
Hello.
GT, what's up? What should we do?
The thing is that I was disconnected just now, so I didn't get what you said.
Okay, so
I
what
didn't.
what aspects don't you understand?
Like you said something about like no, you said something about like it's form of an assignment. I didn't hear what you said regarding the
Okay,
assignment.
can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a practice assignment to practice prompting for code. Understand? Coding with AI prompts. Understand? So this is what I want you to do. I want you to code a simple task. You understand? But because I know some of you don't have the platform to start coding this simple task, that's why I'm telling you the first prompt you should prompt your AI is to give you a free platform or tell you a free platform where you can start coding or start creating Python codes and previewing it. Understand? Should be the first prompt. Ask for a free platform that you can download on your Android phone, on your iOS, on your laptop. You understand? That will enable you to start writing Python codes and previewing your Python code. So that should be the first prompt. After you get the platform, you've installed it on your phone, on your laptop, or on your Android and iOS devices, you will now start with the simple task that is here. So you create a program that says hello world. When you run it, it will say hello world. Now, if you don't understand how to run Python programs, remember, you have your AI beside you. There is no need going to Google or anything. If you have your AI right beside you, just ask your AI, how do I run this program that I've just created? I've just created a program to print hello world. How do I run this program? You understand? The AI will guide you on how to run the program. Usually, you have to run it in your terminal. If you don't have terminal on your phone, the AI will tell you which terminal app you can buy. I mean, I say buy, you can actually download in your iOS or in your Android. But for Android users, you guys are lucky. I will drop terminal app for you on app dumps, so you guys can use. For Apple users, everything with you guys is always so complicated. I don't know. I don't know where I'll find. I don't know where I'll find applications for you people, but I'll look for and give you the names of some free apps probably you can get in your app store. So, what are we doing? GT, do you understand what the task is now?
Yeah. Yes.
So now, when you get the app that you should be using to write your Python codes, you should start with this simple task: print hello world. When you iterate it and you see it works, then you add layers. Now add user input. I want users to be able to input their names, and when they click the submit button, it should show the name the user inputted. Bam, that one has gone like that. You understand? Then when it generates the code for you, we now tell you to explain the code step by step. You understand? Then after that, you test the code. Ask the AI for guidance on how to test the code. That's where the terminal app came into play, because you have to use terminal to run the program. Then lastly, you now use role-based prompting to tell the AI to act as a Python tutor and teach you or explain as a Python tutor the whole code. Understand? That way, you are not just coding this thing, you are learning about what you just coded, learning the language that you just used in coding. Do you understand? GT has left again. This network is a something. Okay, so I think we should take it to WhatsApp so I can tackle any questions you guys. I think I will still be up for like an hour. So,
Like for instance, already I'm with my AI, and this is the question I ask: which free platform will be good for my Python code?
mhm. What response did you give you?
So he said, for practicing and running Python code,
Yes.
here are some fantastic free platforms.
Did you include
Offers,
did you include your device so it gives you something compatible with your device?
okay, like my iPhone.
If you're using an iPhone, you have to include that you're using an iOS device. So it gives you
Okay,
suggestions based on, you see, that is prompting too. So you actually have to
yes,
include details, you understand, that will make it
okay,
understand your environment where you want to actually work. So you understand your
okay,
device, understand the language and the likes like that. So add that also.
okay,
Then we'll go and buy 100. 100 is very versatile. Very,
okay.
no, no,
Which
yeah,
of
I'm
the
talking to,
Android?
no, don't need 100. I'm just talking to 7. Is in the charts. If you have your iPhone, just stick to, there are softwares too on the iOS that work. So, so are we going on the group or we are staying? Welcome back, GT.
I think the group is okay. Oh.
Okay, okay. She
I
said the
don't
group.
know why it's connecting. I don't know.
GT, what
Is
about,
it?
should we go on the group? Big 7. Let me stop the recording, sir. So with that, I think we've come to the end of today's class.
My phone self don low like this.
Questions, you can still
You
throw your
say?
questions. I said with that, we've come to the end of today's class. It's just time for questions now. So let's answer your questions.
Okay.
For you two people, you can drop questions in the comment section. We'll answer the questions there too. But for us, this is the end of today's class.